We had quite a few people registered tonight, so I don't know. Let's see if everyone's still coming in. Still people coming in. Okay, so everyone, welcome. This is office hours. It is. I'm just going to make that a bit bigger. We are Wednesday, the 5th of October. We're 5 minutes past 8. We're going to make a start. For those of you that aren't familiar, we go through all the questions that you've submitted prior to this. So if you've, when you signed up, there was a question box afterwards, and if you submitted questions there, we're going to go through all those questions. And some people will post as they go in the chat as well. We'll try and get to those. That's we're really just going to focus on the questions that we've already been submitted. So we can go through those and then help you. And me and Kev will be sharing our screens. So we'll just we'll dive in and show you stuff if we can, or we'll just explain as we go. So if you don't know us, if it's your first webinar and you're with OptimizePress and it's a new one for you, my name's David. I'm running the webinars and content stuff here at OptimizePress, and Kev heads up our support team. You'd have probably seen us or dealt with us both at some point or some way or another, or been on the webinar or something like that. General house rules, just if you can, give us your attention for this period, especially if you've asked a question as well. We'll probably run for around, it might be about an hour, depends on how quick we get through them. We probably won't go any more than an hour. So if we don't get your questions answered, we'll probably we'll reply to those manually. There's a few of them. I think someone did submit like 15 questions. So we've picked some of those out, and then we'll go through those manually. Usually it's only 1 or 2 questions, but someone submitted 15. So it's like, I looked at them and thought that I think this chap needs some help. So we picked out a few of those, which is good. Yeah, we'll ask questions. You can ask questions at the end, or if there's something specific we're talking about, if you can try and keep them till the end, that helps, because then we keep them on point. Kev will probably mark those as questions. Hey, Kev, and then we'll just answer them at the end. Yes, and that's kind of how we go. Chat box is on the right if you're on a mobile device. Some of you are on mobile devices. You will look different to this. So this is the screen. And yes, you can post in the chat box on the right. You can message us privately as well if you want to. That all comes through to us as well here. Let's crack on. We've got questions. We just really, how this works is we just dive straight into questions, and we'll probably start sharing our screens and things so you can see the questions. If you've got one you submitted, we get to it. If we don't, like I say, we'll answer them all manually. So I've got my screens. I'm going to jump into one of my screens here. So I'm going to share a screen with you. And this first question we got is from Don. It says, is there a way to clone pages? He actually had a couple of other questions in this same topic that are sort of around cloning pages, or even is there an easier way to find pages? So let me just switch over my screens so you can all see so you can all see what I'm looking at. So let's put this into full screen mode. So I'll be switching between the slides and the actual screen sharing at the same time. Okay, so we can, so for you people who have got things you want to see done, and you want to watch us do it live, then this is ideal for you, because you can see it as we go. So let me put this into full screen mode, and that should give us full screen like that. Yeah, so he says, is there a way to clone pages and find pages easier? Kev, I'm going to take this one because it's the easiest one. So I'm going to take the easy one first.
All right.
Well, you probably have a different way actually as well. So the question he'd said is, how easy is it to actually find pages inside of OptimizePress, which he was struggling to find. He said live editor pages. He can see those, because that tells me he's on the older version. So for people, if you're not aware of this, when you go to all pages on the left-hand side here in OptimizePress, in WordPress, you open up your WordPress dashboard and you go to all pages. At the top here, let me see if I can zoom in for you to make this easier. So I know you can easily see. So if I zoom in over here, at the top we've got OP3 pages, and that's how you can filter all the OptimizePress 3 pages that you've made. Okay, so that's the first thing to do, is filter those pages if you're struggling to look for pages. If you've got hundreds and hundreds of pages, then this is going to be much more harder to filter through. But you start with that one first, and click on OP3 pages. That will firstly filter any pages that you've made with the latest version of OptimizePress that you're using. And then his actual question was also, he was drilling down. He's using a particular plugin to view different pages. I think it was called CMS View, this plugin. And he was looking at a way to view those pages, and I think he said he'd put in a feature request for this a few times. So this applies to anyone, actually. If you put in feature requests, we do take them all. They go into a list, into a big database of features. However, we don't sort of prioritize those unless we see them coming in enough from people all the time about the same thing, or if we know we've suddenly got free development time to work on some of the other ones that aren't a huge priority. So like, although people do submit features, and I know it might only be a handful, or it might just be one of you that's a really great feature you see and it looks, you think we should have it, we do take them on board. We just, sometimes it's just not worth the development time to build one thing because it can make one person's life easier. So that's kind of how it works with most features. We try and collate them together and we go, right, that one's been submitted again, that one's been submitted again, let's put that higher up the list. So that's just in his actual question, he was asking about a particular app that he was using, a plugin called CMS View, which allows you to, I think, lay out the pages that you've got. Another one, if you're struggling, so if you're trying to fill a page like that, if you're struggling to find pages because you've got lots of pages, and even if you know the name, now the WordPress search isn't all that great. One thing you can do when you hover over any post, like when you hover over this one, like edit, this is probably going to be really hard for you to see, but if you look in my bottom left hand, I'm going to see if I can zoom in on this. I don't know if this will work actually. So I'm going to try and zoom down. So the bottom left of my browser, which is really tiny to see, that's usually where you can see the URL. So I'm in Chrome actually. Yes, I'm in Chrome with this browser. In the bottom URL is the URL that you're going to click on. It shows you a little tiny preview. You can just see it in the black white text and a little black bar in the bottom left of the screen. I know it's really hard to see because it's not zoomed in, but what that is there, that's the URL you're going to, and inside that is a post ID. So it's like post, and it says 44 or 5442 for this particular one. So that's the post ID or page ID, or whatever you want to call it. They call it ID. Your pages and your posts all have an ID. So that's actually another way you can start searching for posts. If you can actually get a plugin that shows those IDs. It'll list those out for you. So that's one way to do it. Now, he had also said in his post, if you could view a page, so if you could view a page like this and actually see from here to clone the page. So back to his original question, can you clone a page? Yes, we've got the clone OP3 link here that comes up on any OptimizePress 3 page. So you clone OP3, that clones it identical, and it puts in the title clone, so it's a copy, and it goes as a draft. So that is, to answer his question, that one. So the page filtering as well is use the OP3 pages at the top here, and then the post ID. Now this is the same when you edit a page. So if you just click on edit page at the top, he asked about having the clone feature up here. Now that might actually be quite useful. So I think we'll put that as a feature list. But you can see as I've gone.
Yeah, I agree with that one. I'm
already
planning on putting that one down.
Yeah, I think that's quite handy.
As a request.
That would
I think I might put my own vote on that one.
Yeah, put your own vote on that. So just up there, if you look, I've highlighted 4341. That is the post ID. So that's the ID. That's how WordPress references every page you use. So that's a real quick way to find pages. So if you had in here a plugin that shows you with these IDs, I'm sure there is one you can get. I remember using it years ago, but that's how I would come in. I'd find it like that, especially if you're struggling to find lots and lots of pages. So that's all I want to say about answering that one, because I've been there looking on huge sites and had to find lots of content.
I actually have a little bit different take on that.
Go for
if
it,
you go back to the all pages view there, David.
Yep.
I mean, what you did is great too. What I typically do if I have a lot of pages on a site, like you do here, like you have 1 of 11 that you can see there on the top right of that list of pages.
Oh, yeah.
So if you go to the screen options tab there at the top, you can put something like 99.
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can list this, change this, can't you?
Exactly. So if you do that and hit apply, then what I do is hold down the Control F key on my keyboard to do a search.
Oh yeah, right.
And I just type in a word there that I know that's in the page title.
Yeah.
And that's actually a lot more accurate than the WordPress search, in my opinion, because it'll highlight any words that match what you put.
Yeah, that's exactly it. The WordPress search is not great at its best, is it? It just picks everything.
No.
Yeah, so that's a good one. Screen options up here, you can change this, and this is the number of pages you can see in this scroll. So that's what you're doing, and you'll see this has come down to 5 now. It's where Kev said it was 111. So you can change that. Just bear in mind, if you do change it to 99 or even 200, I've been on sites where it just takes forever for all those pages to load. So like maybe
you want to make sure you have a good WP memory.
That's it. That's where the WP memory thing comes in really well when you crank up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's a great one actually. Forgot to tell you about that, Kev. I haven't used that one for a while. Awesome. So Don, if you're listening, that's how we find pages. Your clone feature request is going to be put forward as well. I think a lot also with the features, like I said about the features, if we think that massively improves our user experience of the platform as well, because we're in and out of it all the time, then we try and push it to the top of the list, or we try and hassle developers to push it to the top of the list. But yeah, so that's a good feature actually. That would be good. Okay, moving on. Let's go. So this is from Laura. Is there a way to add a link to a selected text within a bulleted item? So I think for this one, she meant the bullet list element. If not, will OptimizePress 3 provide a block editor option in the future? So I was just going to show not using the bullet element for this one, Kevin. Thought the easiest way to make an element that looks like a bullet using like an icon and a text, and then you can highlight words in the text, because I know this one with the bullet item, it highlights the whole thing. So for her point was that when she wants to just highlight a few words in a bullet list, you can't do that for the link option. It just takes the whole row. I don't know if you know any other ways around that, but that was what I was. So
well, if you just want to have a basic list element within a paragraph, you could do that with our text element.
Yeah,
there's a way to highlight some text, and then you can choose to make it into a number block or an unordered block, and then you should be able to highlight any words in that text.
Yeah,
and make it a link.
And
we unfortunately do not have the option to make just a couple of words in a bullet list item a link. It has to be the whole thing. It's just how that element was developed.
Yeah, so the only other way is if you want to get the funky bullet icons, you could use, I was thinking you could use either the icon with text, but you'd have to change, like this one.
Yeah, like I'm not sure if that one has the way to do just one or two words or not. It might.
Yeah, that's a good. Look, yeah, you should be able to. If you highlight like these words, and then you can add a link just to those words.
Yep, you sure can.
Yeah, so
that's a good way to do it right there.
You'd have to find. Well, the icon shouldn't be too hard, but it might not look like a bullet. But you'd have to make. Say if you had 7 bullets, you'd have to make 7 of these, right? Which you can easily clone. But so that's how I would do it, Laura. But I get your point I think with the bullet list is that it's kind of not designed to be to have links, because I think it's like you link the whole row. But I kind of see both sides of that. But yes, so there's 2 ways, like Kev said, you can use the text formatting, so you can highlight all the text like this, and then come into the bullet option in here, which is ordered list or unordered lists. You can do that with your text. You'll just have the default bullet, and then you can highlight words that you want to link, or you can do what I've done here is using the text icon with text, and you could then highlight the whole thing. If you duplicate it a few times like so, you'll have a bullet list, and then you can just highlight the words that you want to have linked up to whatever your links are. So that's to answer that one. And yeah, the other question Laura said is if not, so I don't think it will be some kind of block editor in future. So hopefully, I'm not sure if Laura's on. Hopefully that answers that one. Kev, I was gonna say you can share your screen if you want. Up to you. I don't know if you're well, anyway, you can if you want. This is from Zafira, I think it is, or Is it Safira? No, let me check. Keynote often changes these names. I type them in, and then I come back and check them later, and I'm like, is that the actual name? How to set up your website with an autoresponder. And this one was, we get this one a lot, and we're always trying to simplify this. Well, it is pretty simple. It's just making sure people follow the same instructions. I think one of the questions we saw was with AWeber as well, which was about linking up AWeber. So for this question, this was just how to set up the autoresponder. So inside of OptimizePress, you go down here and you want to go into integrations. You can do this via the opt-in form as well on the fly, or you can come in here and do this first. So I usually do this first. If I was setting up a site, I'd come and add my integrations first. And you come in here, add your integration. So whether it's, I saw one for AWeber, so let's just say this was AWeber. You can choose your AWeber here, or you can search at the top. You just type AW and it'll filter out, and then you can connect. So do that. Some of them are API keys, some of them are OAuth, so you have to log into the site and then it redirects you back. So you do the integration first. Then when you come to add your opt-in form, so like here, so this is an opt-in form element you've got here. So you click on, what I do, how I use this is I click on the element, and then I use the breadcrumb across the top to select the actual element as a whole. You can use this little up arrow here that does navigate up to the next parent element as well. So I will zoom in to show everyone that. You can just see, look, it goes up. It's a little arrow there on top. So if you're clicking down here, that takes you to the next parent focus element as such. So you click on that. But I just use the breadcrumb because I find that quicker. So if I click here, click on the breadcrumb at the top, that highlights the opt-in form. Click on the mail icon, edit integration, and you will then see in here AWeber, or whoever you just hooked up. Here's Campaign Refinery. Then you click next, and you go through, depending on your autoresponder, whether you have forms or tags or list names, these will be slightly different, all depending on your autoresponder, and you choose whichever one you want, tag, form, etc. from the list. I don't think I've refreshed this account actually, so I can't connect. So that one's not good. Let's go back. I don't know if we've got BirdSend set up for this one. So yeah, you just walk through. That's how you do it. If you were doing it on the fly as well, you can. So if you just came into your opt-in form first, you click on this link at the top, add new integration. That takes you back to that integration page. It does then throw you back on here and reloads it as well. So you can leave this page open. But that's how you do it. Let's just click on default email for now, and we go through. So you choose your list name. The next page is after this would be your form fields. So let's just put in an email. So next, and then the form fields is where you choose whether you want first name and last name. So you turn those on and off. Totally depends if you want them. Extra fields, that would show if you have extra fields in your email provider. That give you option to add those if you have custom fields and things. GDPR is the next one. And then the post action, which is redirect to URL, show another overlay, or show the notification. That's how you link it up. So I think it was Zafira. Let's have a look. Yes. Zipporah, I think it is Zipporah. There we go. So that's how you do your integration. So you can do it on the fly, or you can do it in integrations first. Entirely up to you how you want to do that one. Okay, next one. Membership stuff, Kev. This is we've got a few of these coming in, I think. So some of the questions I've put in here, I've sort of stripped them out, so they're a little bit easier to understand, I think. Does your membership site work if I wanted to create multiple courses? How is this done as it relates to having access to purchase courses in one membership area, or would I have to create multiple membership sites? Do you want to take that one, Kev? Or I can...
Sure. Well, you can sell as many courses in one membership site that you want to. And the way that you would do that is create a membership homepage, which is the in the redirect settings.
I'll pull that up here.
In the Mentor plugin, that would be the after login page. So that would be the first page they see after they log in. and you could create that and use the custom experiences in the editor to show and hide content based on what memberships that user has. Now, we do have an entire webinar recording about that subject on how to do that. If you want to show where we can find that, Dave, I think they would.
Yeah, I can pull that. I need to log into the hub, but yes, I could show that one towards everyone.
Yeah, it's in the university under the on-demand training there.
Yeah, so for this, like, I think people probably get confused with am I selling? So with the membership, to sell multiple memberships, you can do it like you just have this homepage where we've got this question coming up similar where someone's asking about upgrading. So how can I have upgrading or downgrading? It's the same kind of thing. If people are seeing upgrades, you can have links to courses they don't have access to in the same sort of members area, or you can. Or you can have options where they can upgrade and even downgrade, I guess. But yeah, they can upgrade to buy other courses. So Kim, if your membership, you can have multiple courses. You can have one membership that can access multiple courses. So when you come into Optimize Mentor here and you create a course, you can then apply which course access rules you have here. So you can create a membership again on the fly, or you can use an existing one you've already got. So you can create a content rule for an existing membership. You can see I've got one here, or you can set up a new one. Just create a new one on the fly. So you can create multiple courses and have one membership to access everything. That's doable that way. Or you can have so someone can purchase access to one course and then only have access to one course. So every course could have its own membership as well. But yeah, the easiest way is to have a membership area. We call it a membership homepage, and from there, go through to your memberships. I don't know. There's no real way to keep it simple, is there, Kev? You either have a course which has its own membership, or you have one membership and you start assigning access to different courses.
Yeah,
just depends on.
I think there's going to be a new element eventually once we can get that developed, that you can just create a membership homepage and drop an element in there, and it'll automatically show like a course list and give them access to what they have, and then maybe define some kind of link to go to if they don't have access. I'm not really quite sure how it's going to work or when it's going to come out, but it's definitely been given to our engineering team as a task to work on for one of our next updates, I believe.
Okay. There you go, Kim. So we're aware of trying to simplify how people can access different areas, and because obviously that's kind of a priority. I think, just one of those things, when you build a homepage, I think when you build it, we've got a course actually coming out on building a whole course with Optimize Mentor, because I've been filming it, so I know it's coming out. And yeah, it's going to show a lot of that stuff as well, but it shows sort of courses, memberships, connecting it up, and then we'll probably grow that course out based off what people want to see more of and things. Some of these questions that are coming in here, actually, I'm already thinking we can add the other modules onto it. This is from Frantonia. I think that's correct. See our keynotes underlined this. I'm sure that would change that one earlier for me. I love everything about OptimizePress 3 except the blog. Can you share with us on screen how to upload a different blog template and integrate it with OP? So I can't really show you how to upload another template and integrate it. It doesn't really work like that with OptimizePress. You can run OptimizePress alongside any other template, and when you're inside a page like this page here, for example, if I wanted to use the blog header and for current blog theme, we go to page settings and we change this to use what's called the full width template. Actually, I'll just do it on this site. I'm not sure if I have a header or footer. What it does, it goes and gets your header and footer from your blog theme and throws it onto the OptimizePress page. So it puts it at the top and bottom. So let that load. Back to this question is, for example, the OptimizePress blog, if you go to it and look at it, it's completely styled very different to a theme. But they are all essentially, they're just pages that we create with OptimizePress, and then we just duplicate those each time and have like a master template we use for your blog. So what people are doing is they're building fancy custom pages with the page editor here like this, and then they're using that, whatever they build in the editor, they're using that as their template that they bring into their blog posts as well. Because you can choose to use a design for a post and a page. It doesn't always have to be pages, but you can, there's the header been added to the top of this template. So that was just doing that switch. So that allows me to use the sort of the insides of the page. I can still use the editor, but the header and the footer, which is the footer down here, this is using the theme. So, for example, I've got the smart theme on here, but you could have any theme and it'll pull across the footer and the header of that theme. So I do that by going into settings and choosing the full width template. So let me just go back to that. So I think that's, to answer that for Antonia, that's how we do it on the blog. So we don't sort of import. You can run any blog template, any blog theme you want, and OptimizePress will work alongside that. If you want to have those headers and footers on your pages, you do what I've done there, just turning the header and footer on. But yeah, you can go and upload any theme through your through your dashboard. Come into your dashboard and choose to upload a theme as normal here, and then you can turn it on and off. We have spoke a lot about a sort of a theme editor. I know there's chat of that still, sort of some kind of themes, different themes that we want to use and see. People ask for it quite a lot. I think you see a lot of tickets for that as well, Kev, right? People asking for that one, possibly.
Yeah, we do. I think we're going to try to do something like that. It'd probably be, realistically, since the holidays is coming up, probably be next year before.
Yeah, there's a lot of work in the theme.
We could get a working version of that to test out before we can release it.
Awesome. Okay, let's go on. Roger's in the room. Roger did submit 15 questions, so I'm just gonna. He publicly said that was me. Thanks for joining us, Roger. We've got some of your questions here. I think some of them we'll answer manually. So this one come in. This is from Tina. She says, so there's sort of a few different things. I think some of the questions we had are actually duplicates in a way. Can I create separate sections within my website for different audience? So I have 3 main focuses to my website: A, lifestyle blog; B, direct sales; and C, direct sales coaching. So that was the first question. So we've kind of answered that by having a members homepage. Well, if you were having that as a membership site, if it was a blog, you just have categories. I think that's right. That's how I would answer that. Kev, you the same with that?
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's if you're going to have it, if each one of those is a course, each of those audience, if they were a separate course, and you had a lifestyle, it's lifestyle blog, she said there. So I think, I'm not sure if Tina's in. Anyway, that was that first one. So if to have 3 different sections and you wanted to have them, your audiences to only access, those particular areas, then you could have it as courses, or you can actually still have it as blog posts and just use OptimizeMentor to protect those, or only assign it so those people had access. Otherwise, you can have a blog. In your blog, you're going to go to the blog posts here, and you'll have categories, and you'll create new categories. And when you write content, you just publish it to those categories. So that's the simplest way if you're not looking to protect stuff. So using categories like this, that's the first one. And then, can I create a members only section with a login for a team area, and how is that done? So that, I think, is again, that would be a members homepage. So let's go to this site, because I think we've got a members homepage. So when we talk about members homepage, all we actually mean is just another page on your site, which could be designed. It says, "Hello members, welcome home." I think there's one here. Look, it's an OptimizePress page. And let's just view this one. I can't remember what this was for. It's just a page we've designed, and then what we'll do is we protect it using OptimizeMentor, so that locks it down, and this could then become your after login page, like Kev was talking about earlier. So let's let that load up. If I switch back to Mentor here, go to memberships. What we do is when someone logs in, we always redirect them to that members homepage. So inside of here, inside of the main settings, if you go to main settings, redirection, and you have where it says after login. So from here, I could choose my members home, which is that one. Look, so I could choose that. And that means the main Optimize mentor is always going to use that page to redirect people to my members homepage, unless I override it individually on the membership level. So let's go to this homepage here. This is actually a course layout page, but this could be your homepage and this could be protected. And to protect it, you would then choose whatever membership. So you'd probably have like a default membership, or let's just say each of your membership plans, you always wanted to, it was always protected. But the moment you protect a page using Optimize Mentor, it locks that page down completely. So no one can access it unless they're on your membership. So you go to content access, create a content access rule. And it says here about included content. You choose selected pages, and then you'll type, or you can see, look, members homepage. So what that's doing is, it's not a great example of the membership name, but you might want to have a membership that's called like free access or protected content, which it just gets people in. Maybe if you have, even if you have like a free lead magnet or free course that you have, like a 4-part video course, that brings them in and they can always access it via the members homepage. So they're into the members homepage. And like Kev said earlier about the custom experiences, you can then choose to hide and show different things on that members page based off their membership. So if they weren't a member of any other courses, you could show a button that says upgrade or join the courses. And as they become members of those courses, you would hide those buttons using the custom experiences. So to answer that question, that's how you would have a members homepage. You could protect it. The moment you do this, that means this members homepage, only people on this membership plan can access that members homepage, unless you go into the other memberships and do the same as what I've done here. So to simplify things, I generally have one membership which gets people in the door, and then after that, they get added on other memberships as they upgrade. I think that's how I do it. I think it's the same with you, Kev, right?
Yeah, I would do it that way. Now, I mean, if you just have like 2 different programs and none of your members are ever going to have both, then you could just create, redirect them directly to the course homepage in those redirection settings. But
yeah,
in most cases, we find that people are asking about this. They want to have, several different courses that anybody can buy access to. So that's where the membership homepage really comes in to help, because when you start having members and they have 5 or 6 different memberships or more, then the login redirections, if you have them all set up differently, then it might be a little bit of a problem to get them to the right page after they log in.
Yeah.
Because they can only go to one page, and if each of the memberships they have are different, then there's a priority that you could set for that, but it's really difficult to get them on the page they want to be on also. So that's why a membership homepage that has the links to all the courses they have is the best choice in that setup, because they can click on which one they want to get into instead of being redirected somewhere that they don't want to be, that would cause confusion.
Yeah, I saw that actually on the site this week. There's multiple different login redirect pages, and it was messy. So it's trying to pretty help the person fix it, but like I think have one homepage, bring them there, from there then let them go off to those other pages. Just keeps it. So this is how you override the redirect settings per membership. So I'm on a membership, and you can override the master settings we were at before. Anyway, we seem to go over that question quite a lot, but I think it's because it's everyone sort of wants to know how to do it. But I think when you show them, it's much easier than reading it or watching a webinar, I guess. Here's one. This is from Roger. The custom experiences option doesn't seem available for the following elements: breadcrumb trail, column, memberships, content list, or content list item. Would you consider adding it? I wasn't sure this one meant to go in, but I was going to answer this, Roger, as Kev might have a different way. What I was going to say is if that custom experiences isn't available on that element, you could put that element inside a row and then you can add it on that row. I think that works, right, Kev?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
so
thinking there.
that's exactly why. Yeah. So when I read that, I was like, if you can't, so I'm on a row here. So Roger, you can see this is a breadcrumb, and you're right. I think I've yeah, it's not. You can't see custom experiences on the left. So because it's inside a row, you can then go to the row and you can see down here, it's now custom experiences there. So you could then start using the custom experiences for the row, and inside the row is the breadcrumb. So it'll still work because that's inside the element. That's, the row is the parent element containing the breadcrumb trail. So that applies to anything. So anything that doesn't kind of work with the custom experiences, just put it inside a row, and then it should work. It does work
Yeah,
on most other ones.
the elements like feature block and bullet list and membership content list, the items within an element like that, we can't set up the custom experiences for that because it would break the logic of the element and it wouldn't display it correctly.
Yeah, the featured block element, I think, is a real complicated element. Although it looks so simple, I think there's a lot of coding behind the scenes. And as soon as you want to change something, it's just a mammoth task to create something that gives that effect. So sometimes it's not worth trying to apply new features to an existing element, which is is working fine as it is. So you've got to rebuild the whole element again. Yeah, so hopefully that helps that one, Roger. Here's another one. When using double opt-in process with ActiveCampaign, I redirect a person to a page explaining that a confirmation email will be sent, but once the person is already on the mailing list, no email is sent. This happens only after the first registration. This is confusing experience. Can anything be done about it? Yes, this is not directly an OptimizePress question. Kev, you might.
Well, I'm an ActiveCampaign user, and the way that I would do this is also add a tag in the form, and then in that tag you can start an automation in ActiveCampaign, and one of the features in there also is to check if they are subscribed to the list
Already,
and if they are, you can stop the automation maybe or send them an email, to let them know that, hey, you've already been on the list, so there's no need for you to confirm.
Does ActiveCampaign not have an already subscribed feature? In like AWeber does, or these.
Not really in that sense.
So you don't
They
detect
do
if you're already
everything
subscribed. No.
with tags. So I would start an automation with the tag, and then you could even check if there's another tag already on the user, and if there is, you can send them a different direction in the automation, and then you could still send them an email that way.
Yeah. So I think, and I'm guessing because the double opt-in's in the way, it's preventing other things being fired out because they have to confirm their email first. Yeah. So you can't start the automation until they've confirmed their email. I guess that's
exactly.
Yeah. So hopefully so Roger, you can do like if else commands, if else in your automations in ActiveCampaign that will be like, this user, is this the first time on this list, or is this user tagged with X, whatever the tag is, and it would say is yes or no. So yes, they're already tagged, then don't send them an email. No, they haven't been tagged, send them a welcome email. So that's probably any program that has automations like that. You should be able to do if else commands, and it'll create different scenarios where they go down a path based off whatever they've previously been tagged. So use the tagging feature. Try and get in the habit of using that for any of your opt-in forms. Always tag them, because most of the email list providers now have good tagging databases to help you segment your leads. If you're not,
what I do, I'll make a tag the same as the lead mag that I'm giving away, and then I know what they have. So that's a good way to start some stuff, or you can even send a sequence of emails. But if you have any issues with setting that up, Roger, I would suggest to just reach out to ActiveCampaign about that. Because our support's really kind of limited on what we can help with. Even if we already kind of know that, we have to spend time helping people with OptimizePress features, and we really can't go too detailed on helping with other platforms.
There we go. It's another one from Roger. Sorry, I think we go to someone else in a minute. Logic I think that's login. Sorry, when I copied that, it should be login. Login credentials can be sent from OptimizeCheckouts and from OptimizeMember. What's the difference?
I can answer
go
that
for it,
if you
Kev.
want. So basically, OptimizeCheckouts will handle the login email if the member is added to the membership through OptimizeCheckouts. Now, you can edit that email. I think Dave wants to show you under checkouts and settings. There's some email templates there, but you also have some email templates in the Mentor plugin. I think that's where this question comes from, because you have a logins template there as well. So this screen he was showing was the email settings.
So this is Mentor
for checkouts, and this is the one in Mentor. So this one, if you manually add a user and you check the box to send them the credentials, then that's the template that'll be used. And also, if you add them through the API, then this one will be used as well under the Mentor settings. So for checkouts, if you're using checkouts to add people to your membership, then you'll want to edit the template here under checkouts, settings, and emails, and the access credentials email there.
Yeah, I think it automates if you're selling with checkouts. So if you're selling memberships, it puts the membership credentials inside this checkout email. It automatically puts them in. So it puts part of this inside of this order confirmation email. It automatically appends it in there. So you
the reason we did it that way is because not everybody who's using the Mentor plugin is going to use the checkouts plugin, because they may have already set up a sales process on something like Thrivecart or Samcart or whatever you call it. And they want to add somebody through the API, and so we had, or manually add the user. So that's where this comes in at.
So there you go, Roger. So there's two, yes. If you're manually adding members, meaning they're not, you're just going up to memberships and adding them there, that then they'll get the optimized mentor email. And then checkouts, if you're selling memberships, there you go, it comes from there. Oh yes, what's the difference between Roger again? What's the difference between access rules created via the courses and via memberships? You can take that if you like, Kev.
Yeah. So in a course, you have.
I'll get it up here. One sec.
Anytime you create a course, you want to definitely set up the access restrictions within the course. So you can do that by clicking the course access there. And then you will be able to choose basically what membership that course is going to belong to. Now, you also do have a way under the memberships.
I'm just loading that one up now.
To protect the course, but that's not a good way to do it, because I don't think we really meant to have the courses post type available there in the memberships, because you're really supposed to protect it through the course itself. And I've seen a couple of tickets come through where the course access wasn't working correctly, and I went in and found out that they had not only the course access set up, but they also had a content protection rule set up in the membership for the same course.
Yeah, okay.
And it was basically fighting itself.
Oh, okay, so, yeah. So it needs to be some.
I've got a bug report put in for that particular issue, but
so let's
definitely go through the course and protect it that way.
In this way, Roger. In here, course access, and then you set the membership access there. Yeah, I generally would use this if it was for posts and paid other things that aren't courses on your site which you wanted to give access to. But that's it. There's probably there needs to be some kind of error check in there, doesn't there? Okay, Roxy. I'm not sure if Roxy is on. I cannot get the page to open the AWeber page to collect the email address of the person wanting the freebie. I've gone back through Tanya's trainings. This is from one of our affiliates. Tanya is, if anyone's wondering who that is, training 3 times and put it in 3 times. I've talked with AWeber and they say, you need to talk to us. Love AWeber. I think what sounds like what Roxy's trying to do is not really how OptimizePress works. I think what she's trying to do is I cannot get the page to open the AWeber page to collect their email address. So Roxy, if you're on, I'm not sure if you're on this webinar, go add AWeber into the integrations. That's the first thing. Don't try and send us to an
That was a
AWeber
little
page.
confusing there.
Say again.
I said that question is just a little bit confusing.
Yeah, I think what it is possibly sounds like you're trying to send people to an AWeber page to collect their email address. So if you basically AWeber, just let that take the email address, do everything else inside of OptimizePress. So you have your integration set up here somewhere. Set up your integration here first. If you are an OptimizePress suite customer, use Optimize funnels and just use the 2-page funnel, which is the landing page and then the thank you page, and that will allow you to collect the emails, put them on the next page where you can either tell them that the freebie is getting delivered by email, or you could link to the freebie on that page, or you could add another step which says you need to confirm your email first before you get to the download page. So you could, but from what I'm reading, when you said you send them to AWeber, that sounds like I think you've got mixed up. I'm not sure the training. I've not seen Tanya's training, so I don't know actually the steps there. But I would avoid using the pages inside AWeber. Just use them all inside of OptimizePress, and you can then either deliver the download freebie via AWeber via email, or you could, in the email that AWeber sends out to say you're on the list, put a link in there that takes them to your download page back on your OptimizePress site. So hopefully,
yeah, I don't think Tanya's training actually has them use any of the AWeber stuff other than just integrating it with OptimizePress and then using our opt-in forms and our thank you pages to deliver any lead magnets you have. If you have any problems with that, Roxy, if you're watching the recording or if you're on here live, just reach out to us in support. If you need to ask for me, that's fine. I'll be happy to help with that.
I'm skimming through all the people to see. I think there's one more. We've got a few others in the chat here as well. I've got, sorry, Roger, I haven't answered your other 11 questions or other 16 or 20 there, but I'll, we can actually pick them up. I've got a few of them here that were actually doubles. Let me just check. I've got the right one here. Actually, I don't think this is an old one. Nope, this was an old one. So there was a couple of questions. Someone, Jim, I'm not sure if Jim is actually on it, asked about can we redirect Facebook ads to an opt-in form? Actually, this one might have been familiar. I think she's on. I'm not sure if this was a previous. No, this was it. How do I pick a theme? How do I pick a theme with a header that will match? Yeah, sorry, this is a current question. Sorry, Amelia. How do I pick a theme header that will match? Let's just do that. Will match the professional pictures I have taken. Yeah, this is kind of more of a, I guess, I don't know if it's a design question, really. You've got to find a theme. I don't know if you mean by template. If you mean OptimizePress template, you could, if you're using a template of ours, and you could put a bigger section at the top. You wouldn't really need to have a specific page. You just put a section in. If it is theme, if you do mean a theme, then you need to go and really search for all the different themes that are out there. So if you drop a section like this, if I just drop this one above, actually, let's go in here, and then you could put so you could just use a section, put your photography as a background image in the entire section, or use a row. You could put it in the entire row. To do that, you obviously highlight this section here. You just click away. So if we click on the section, and then you could go to pictures. We've got under image here. You can then set an image, and from here you would upload your image and put it in. So let's just say you had. I'm just going to use one from Unsplash here. So I'll just pick this background. And depending then on how you want the header to look, you could look at using our sections, because they've got some nice hero sections that are pre-built. I'll show you those in a minute. So you might want to start with a a pre-built section. So you can see, I've got to turn this color. I've got a color on there. Have I got a color? No. Overlay. No, that's off. What's going on here? Not sure what's going on there. You just should be seeing my background image. Message is still loading through.
A live technical issue, huh?
Yeah, and it was quite a big image. I don't know if it's just coming through, but oh, there it is. Look, it's because I hadn't centered it. So align it. Let me go and align it. Sorry, that's what I hadn't done, Kev. Come on.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of white in that background image. That's why it looked like it wasn't there, huh?
Yeah. So look, no repeat. Size. Let's choose cover. Actually, let's just align it. So go center top again, but I just have to pull this down. No, I can't see it. Okay, so that's how I would do it. Like you can see, it's got now getting in here, and then you could drop a text in here, and you can start lining up how you want your text to look, and if you want sort of a banner style. So another way, Amelia, is just use our sections up here. These are the best things in OptimizePress that are pre-built, which people still, we show people and tell little tips about these ones all the time. That then here they've got pre-built sections. So if you choose hero, like that one, that will actually have a pre-styled hero you can see like this, look, for example. So just drag that onto the page like so, and that will put in everything inside that section. You can, remove, edit, do anything you want with it, but you see it has a picture in it as well. So it has to go to the cloud and pull that down. So you always just get a little delay as it's going to download that image, and it'll always be slow when I run on the webinar because that's just how it goes. Let's just let that come in, and you'll see what we mean here. So this is it. The sections are brilliant. Use them. You can use them to build pages literally in like 10 clicks. You can have a landing page up and running. Let's get rid of that. So there you go. There's a header. So I don't know if that's the kind of thing you mean, Amelia. That would work. You could change this. You could remove, this whole section across the top here. I think there's another row. So that's how I would do it. If you are specifically looking to do something with a theme, then you need to go and find a theme for that. But this one, you could just replace it and put in your own photography, and there you have a nice header. You're welcome. Okay, there's a few questions, Kev. I'll just check those, and then we're aware of time. So Glenn had said, I don't know, any plans to expand OptimizeCheckout integrations like Square? I'll let you answer that, Kev.
Yeah, I think we're working on a pretty big update for checkouts. I'm not quite sure when it's going to come, but we have to get a better checkout form element first that will be able to handle the other payment options. And then once that's ready, we'll be integrating with some other payment providers. I'm not quite sure what exact payment providers that we'll be integrating with beyond what we have now with Stripe and PayPal. But I do know that's definitely on the way. Some of the features I don't really get information about too much before they come out. So answering them is kind of like asking a weatherman what the weather's going to be about 3 months from now, and they don't really know too much. They know the sun's going to come out, maybe.
Yeah, a lot of these things is they can change so much, right? Because we can be discussing it, and then someone can accidentally tell someone in a ticket, and then someone's like, "Oh, you told me it was coming out," and we're like, "Well, no, that was you just got the wrong end of the stick." Yeah, I'm not sure I don't know about Square if they're opening up their API. I know that I heard that Stripe are trying to tap into that side of the business of like how Square are using it, more POS sales. So I wonder if Square are doing that as well, coming back into the online space. So possibly. So there you go, Glenn. I know there's obviously others. The thing is that's because of obviously Stripe is so easy and quick for everyone to connect to. I know people have their own issues with it and stuff, probably their own, personal things like these big companies they don't want to use. But there's also I'm not sure if we're doing other gateways like ClickBank. We used to have ClickBank and all that was quite big. So I don't know if that's obviously a more complex integration, I guess, with checkouts, but you couldn't even use it with checkouts, but if it has some API connection. And so there you go, Glenn, that possibly we are working on the checkouts that might be, I'm not sure about the exact integrations, but If we got, is that bit, if you haven't submitted, submit a feature, or we'll write it down, Kevin, put it on the feature list now. Actually, we can do it after this. Let's see. Michael says, do you have any plans for global colors? Global colors. We have.
I think that's something that I've heard being discussed at one point. So I want to say that there probably is plans for that. Now, for the typography settings that David is showing there, you can set colors, default colors for headlines and stuff. And also in the color picker itself, you have a way to add up to 8 different favorite colors that you could use on any page on your website. So as far as global colors go, that would be the best option right now to use for that.
This one here, look, favorites. So if you're ever on a color, like, let's just pick a ghastly color. Then you click on the plus sign down the right, and that adds it into your favorites. That means it'll be there whenever you're editing that page or you're working on it. Saves inside that page, feature favorites, and then recents are just anything that you recently used. The favorites ones. So if you are designing a page and you've got a color palette, you usually put it in the favorites. As you use the color once, click plus, and that adds it in. As Kev said, yeah. But I think what he's meaning, I guess, is like global colors. We can say like button styles. It changes all the buttons, you know, and then you have different like backgrounds and borders, and you can just set those global styles. That definitely, that's definitely been asked a few times. I think it's a cool feature. It just speeds up that sort of, it keeps your branding the same. You usually put in a brand palette, don't you? And then you can apply that same branding colors to all of your pages and things. So yes, we'll check that one, Michael, actually, for the feature and see if that's been added. Sushant says, has left, not online just now. Can we insert already built pages inside a funnel? Yes, you can. I will answer that one because I can show you right now. So this page, so even if you've built a page, this page isn't inside Optimized Funnels. Go to settings here, scroll on down, go to Optimize Funnels here, and turn this one on like that. That will then, and then save it. I'm not sure if I'm still zoomed in. Yes, so save it. Once you save it, it will then be available inside of Funnels when you go to under My Templates, I think, isn't it, Kev? To remind me, I think it is. I'll show on this one.
Yeah, it'll be under the user pages that's area in the templates.
Yeah, so if we go into this funnel, and so anywhere in a funnel, you can add a page. So let's go here, click on add, create from a template. So you click on that, and then you have the categories that come up. You want to choose user pages, which is down here on the last one. I think My Templates is from the cloud. Is that right, Kevin? Isn't it? Yeah, these are cloud.
Yeah,
these are cloud. We should probably ask we actually get that named, change the name to like My Cloud Templates. And then user pages, it goes there. So Sushant, when you read this, when you listen to this back, that's how you do it, user pages. So that applies to any page you built on that are not inside of funnels. You can go and add it inside of funnels by doing that. So settings, turn on this option here, save the page, go into your funnel, user pages, and you'll see it appear there. And we have
that's basically just a fancy way of cloning the page into the funnel. It doesn't really do anything with the page that you wanted to use as a funnel page. So those are going to be 2 different pages. So the one that you created the user page from is still going to exist. But it'll be a copy of that page in the funnel, basically.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, it just copies it into the funnel area to use. The other one is actually you can just clone from here. When you click clone, you can click on any of these other templates and it will clone those as well. I'm going to click away and it just deactivates that. You can click clone and it will clone existing page. That's from Francois, I think. Let's have a look. What's we got here? Answer live. Okay. I had not realized we had. All right, submit a question in advance, no problem. Here's mine in case we have time. I've been using OP since 2013. Thank you very much. Long time loyal customer. And most of my sites have been developed in 2015 using OP version at the time. My webmaster tells me there are security issues now, and I thought I could upgrade to OP3 without extensive adjustment to rebuild. What will happen if I upgrade? Yeah, there's you can answer this. There's so many different answers to the upgrade. You can upgrade easily, but
go a lot of different ways on this because we don't really know about your site. So what I'm assuming that your developer or webmaster is saying is that because the older OptimizePress 2 that you're using wouldn't be compatible with like PHP 8, then PHP 7 is going to be unsupported after the end of this year by its creators. But what a lot of people don't understand is web hosts who would still support the older PHP versions are just patching those themselves. So in most cases, it's still going to be okay to use PHP 7 as long as your web host is actually patching the security vulnerabilities in it. It's just not being patched by its creators anymore.
Yeah.
But there's still reports that come out about security flaws in older server software like that. So they'll still be patched. As far as OP2 is concerned, there's no security that needs to be concerned about with that because it's always been checked by our own security people.
Are we still supporting OP2? Or is it now obsolete as such?
Well, we don't really support it much other, as far as if there's any issues, I don't really think those are going to be fixed anymore.
That's the live editor, isn't it? Yeah. And I guess his other question is an extensive adjustment to rebuild. Yes, because we can't import OP2 pages into OptimizePress 3 is completely built from scratch again. So we can't import. So you have to rebuild the pages. Any old pages you've got in OptimizePress 2, you need to rebuild those in OptimizePress 3. Obviously, the added advantage is the pages are super fast. They're much quicker. They're cleaner code, and they'll perform and load up. And the editor's much easier as well. Obviously, there's time.
Yeah, they convert a lot better also.
Yeah. Because the code is much cleaner. So one thing is when you turn on, I showed earlier, that header and footer option we have with OptimizePress, you can choose to use your theme header and footer. Now, when you turn that on, that means your page instantly loads all the scripts and things that are hidden inside those theme headers. So all the other WordPress stuff gets chucked into those theme headers. Any plugins that are required to be in the header, they all get thrown in those theme headers. But when you use the blank template of OptimizePress, it takes out all those scripts, and that's why they're so fast, because we don't load in any other external scripts, only what you choose to be loaded in your OptimizePress pages. You have to manually say, I want this script to run inside an OptimizePress page, and because of that, we can keep the pages super fast. So yeah, that's there. You get those.
Yeah, if that's not good enough, then we also have the optimization features built into OptimizePress now as well, like image optimization. And stuff like that. It's all built in.
That's under here. So these are all. Yeah, you're getting the. I know Francois asked about that. I hope I've pronounced your name right. You're getting all the extra, obviously, all the other advantages of the latest version of OptimizePress. But yeah, the upgrade to upgrade those pages they have to be manually rebuilt. That is the only downside, is the time. So if you have hundreds, just pick your top converting ones or your top traffic ones. But here's the optimization panel. I won't go through this, but it's got everything from lazy loading to viewport progressive images. If you want your images, you can now, Google are now factoring in WebP format as an SEO, another factor in SEO ranking. So you can now put all your pages into WebMP or WebP image format. So that automatically builds those, and it also goes back and converts all your old images to WebP format as well. So WebP format is basically the really quick, lightning fast image optimization that Google are transitioning to. So just another factor they're bringing into SEO. So again, that's just one advantage of upgrading. So hopefully that answers that question. But yeah, we discussed that loads, didn't we, Kev? Like a template import option, but it's just impossible, I think, for the developers to build. It's just not worth the time to build something like that. It would be a nice feature, but it's the old OP2 pages are so messy, the code, I guess, compared to this. Right. I think we've answered them all, Kev. Well, we've got those, apart from Roger's. Roger, we'll come back to all the other questions because I think we got through some of them. You had a lot of them that were sort of slightly off topic. There's a couple of people I didn't get to add them all in, that were one from Philippe. Actually, I'm not sure if you're still on. That was another question you come in, and there's a couple of others that were quite techies. One from Heather about integrating checkouts with an affiliate plugin. I'm not sure, we might answer that one, Heather, by email to you as well until we know a bit more about that. But we do have the webhook. I didn't actually could have covered that with a webhook because there's a couple of others we'll answer people. So if you did submit a question and we didn't get to it, we'll answer it manually. And if we know it's a good question, we'll try and get it on the next office hours, and we can always answer them. I think we wrap it up there, Kev.
Yep, that sounds good.
Luckily, you didn't have to shoot, so that's good to have you on board. Always nice to hear your voice from over that side of the pond. And yes, thank you everyone who's given up their time. Really do appreciate it. We like these sessions are quite different to our other webinars. Go to /webinars and you can see the next up and coming webinar, which is going to be a couple of weeks. So you can register for that. That's just more of a training webinar. So it's not office hours, and then we'll schedule up the next office hours as well. That'll be a couple of weeks after that. So do look out for those. I think let me just jump in as I've got direct messages here. I pronounce it perfect. Thank you, Francois. Brilliant. Okay, Kev, you're not answering anyone manually or anything. You're not typing. You're good.
Nope, I'm good. I just see one question here from Felipe about the translations and the checkouts. I see you have a ticket open for that, so we'll do our best to get back to you on that as soon as possible as well.
Excellent. Cool. Oh yeah, translating French. Okay, yes, got it. Okay, everyone, thank you so much. Really appreciate you giving up your day, afternoon, or your evening for this hour, and we love seeing you all on here as well. It's great to see where you've all checked in or logged in from. So yeah, we'll be back soon. Right, Kev? Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for being here.
All right, you too.
Yeah, and I'm sure I'll speak to you soon.
Yep.
Yeah, happy Wednesday, everyone, and we'll be back soon with another webinar.